The United States and the European Union have agreed to a trade deal which Donald Trump is hailing as the biggest ever.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
The framework was unveiled after a meeting between Mr Trump and the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen at the US President's golf course in Scotland. It'll see a 15% import tariff applied to most EU goods, down from a threatened 30% duty, which was due to take effect on Friday.
We've reached a deal. It's a good deal for everybody, I believe. And I think you were saying this is probably the biggest deal ever reached in any capacity, trade or beyond trade.
It is.
It's a giant deal with lots of countries.
This agreement averts a spiralling trade war between the world's two largest economies, which account for about a third of global trade. It includes more than $900 billion of EU investment in the US and the purchase of more than $1 trillion worth of energy, replacing Russian gas and oil. Some products, such as steel and aluminium, will still be subject to a 50% levy.
We have stabilised on a single 15% tariff rate for the vast majority of EU exports. This rate applies across most sectors, including cars, semiconductors, pharmaceuticals. This 15% is a clear ceiling, so no stacking, all inclusive.
The 27-member EU bloc had prepared countermeasures to be slapped on US goods if no deal was struck. Leaders from the European countries are welcoming the agreement. But some economists say the 15% levy appears to be a face-saving compromise for both sides.
When you look at the economics and when you look where we sit at the start of the year, namely with hardly any tariffs, the European Union will clearly lose from this deal. The European Union will see the negative economic impact, even though at 15% tariff rates, this will not be the end for the European economy.
Donald Trump outlined his administration's new tariff regime in April. Higher rates are due to take effect on Friday after weeks of negotiations with major trading partners. At this stage, there's no word on whether higher import duties will be applied to Australian goods above the across-the-board 10% figure that currently exists. US officials say negotiations will continue.
Obviously, after August 1st, people can still talk to President Trump. I mean, he's always willing to listen. And between now and then, I think the president's going to talk to a lot of people. Whether they can make him happy is another question, but the president's definitely willing to negotiate and talk to the big economies for sure.